moments, guys. Gotta check out some things, make sure everything's working. Gotta use my phone to try and make sure everything's working right. Alright. Now I just gotta figure out eventually how to get it going where I can actually do commentary and message you guys back. I've yet to figure that out, but we'll be figuring that out here soon enough, hopefully. Oh, I've also got to figure out how to make this audio just a little bit less loud. I went and watched my playthrough last time and I noticed it was extremely loud, so let me see if that fixed any issues. Hold on, guys. There we go. Let's try that this time. I think that might work. Alright, here we go. Oh hey, it looks like we've already got one viewer. Awesome. I'm so excited. Thanks for watching. Just trying to figure out how to do this a little bit. So, you know, this live stream isn't terrible. I've never really done this before, so let's hope that all of this goes well. One more thing I gotta do, guys, and we'll get started on just a minute. Alright, here we go. Here we go. And we have chat live too, so if you guys are watching on YouTube, feel free to say hi. I've got it right open and we'll get started. So last time we left off, we were in the first stage, and we'd only got halfway through. I decided to stop where I did just because it felt like a nice breaking point. So again, this beautiful load screen. If you guys have any issues hearing or anything, please let me know. I am more than happy to fix things around so that everyone can hear. So this is the only thing I don't like about this game. Even though this is fully loaded into my system, it's a complete digital download, the load times tend to take a while. It's kind of the only terrible thing about it, but everything else in this game is absolutely stunning, so I give it a pass. I give it a pass. So, earlier we left off, we had just come through here, and we had just been... let's get over here. Oh, can I get up? I cannot get up higher. Or, wait a minute, yes I can. We had just come from the first part of the island where the boy is shipwrecked, and we can see all of that back here this way. A lot of it's kind of covered up, but now we've got the fox who's trying to lead us over here up these steps. But let me show you one thing that I tried to do last time. So, you can yell in this game, and when you yell, you usually activate things. But this one didn't really do much. It activated that fish, but not enough. So, let's go follow our little dog friend. There he is. Alright. And he just disappeared. He's showing us a little picture of, again, what we'll have to do. Again, this is probably one of my favorite things about this game, is just everywhere you look, it looks beautiful. You have subtle little environmental things moving that bring the life here, but don't detract away from just the beauty of the landscape. I just find this game to be absolutely stunning. Oh, and we're stuck. That's awkward. Moving along. So this game is extremely linear, I will not lie, but that's kind of one of its charms. It really is hard to get lost. Oh, there's our little dog, he's yelling again. I think my favorite thing in this world is probably just the way that they make the vines look on things when you climb. It's extremely pretty. Oh, so this is our first big puzzle. So we have to try and activate these guys, but how do we get them all at once? It's a little tricky. And another time guy. So he's gonna activate that. We'll need to get across here. Oh no! So I took too long. But we've got to get across onto this little gold platform over here. Oh, 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 go, 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 go. Ah! There we go. Now we're up. Yay. So, my first time playing this through, it took me a very long time to understand that this is what you had to do, and that these orbs amplify your voice. So now we're gonna grab it. Oh, look at the little bird. Look at the little bird. And now we have a way through. All the way through. Let's see. Over here, we're gonna drop that. It's gonna activate everything all at once, and boom! Now we're across. So now we have to deal with trying to get at this thing, which is a bit daunting looking. But again, this game does not try to trick you, so it makes everything pretty easily done. Oh, except when you fall down like that. That's pretty unfortunate. Here we go. Back up. And across. So one thing that can be slightly annoying is the controls can be a little soft sometimes when it comes to like leaping off ledges. Thankfully it's not too often that you have a blind edge like that, so it's usually pretty safe. But again, we just learned earlier that these can be moved and they can reach great distances, so let's go activate that one over there. And it just showed us where we have to go, and now we'll yell again. The music really sells this game. There are only 2 fully credited songs at the end of the game. Everything else is kind of the studio's own work. And unfortunately, I think the music does not get enough praise like it should. The whole game has great orchestra in it. And, ooh, we almost fell down this time. The whole game has music constantly. There is only 1 or 2 places where the game is completely silent. And that's, again, it's another aesthetic choice to add to the game. So the music kind of is one of those characters in the game. You know, there's a theory that in gaming that even characters can be anything you interact with, be that, you know, the actual main protagonist who you're controlling, items in the world, or even music, because the music itself has its own distinct feel. Now this is one of the things I love. We're up here, it's windy, you see the cape blowing, but also here you get a really beautiful view of the island, of the parts that you were just at. This whole stage really allows you to constantly look back as to where you've been, and I think that's probably one of my favorite parts about this stage. And now we activate that, and boom! That's working. Oh, that beautiful tree. Dog friend. So, I'm not sure exactly how he's going like this. It's not that far. Let's go down, jump here. Oh, there he was. Sorry about that, guys. Didn't mean to get a phone call in the middle of my stream. That ringtone was from another favorite game of mine called Shantae, which I may also play on the channel. I have completed it as well. Eventually I will start trying to stream games that I haven't completed. I just feel more comfortable right now streaming stuff that I have, so I'm not wasting your guys' time, and I'm a little more informed as to like the decisions I make while I'm in the game. So that's kind of why I'm doing it that way right now. So now we have this really, really beautiful look of this tree right in front of us, and we have got to go across the water, which we know is swimmable. And again, we have to grab another key. So beautiful. So one thing that this game encourages is exploring. So we saw that there was a bottom to this earlier, but we didn't really see anything. We couldn't really see anything until you get down here and you notice that there is a way up. So now we see more of those leaves that we saw earlier, but this is a much darker looking place. We see these beautiful flowers leading up to this monument. My assessment is that this is probably a grave, just because whenever you press triangle you get context clues, and I'll play the context clue you get. It's crying, so I'm not sure whose grave this is, but it's definitely somebody's. So, and it is one of these kind of things. This also has an achievement when you come down here. So it is one of those things that I would definitely try to view for yourself when you guys get the chance to play this game. Let's see, go up, up, up. And now, again, we notice how, like, this is a key, but there's also this big statue over here. So let's go take a look at that, shall we? So this statue has two little keyholes. So I'm gonna put this one here right now. You can collect multiple key symbols. I just felt like putting this one in right now. Again, there's so many motifs all over the place. These little children, this sphinx-like figure that almost looks like a mom kind of thing with her kids. The symbolism is everywhere in this game. You can be very base level with all this stuff, or you can actually really dig into the surface and kind of find out what all this means. So this is one of the things that I love about this game too, is look at the environment. Look at how this thing is pitted. It's got chunks missing. It looks like, you know, a weathered doorway, but it's also that same symbol. And again, we have, you know, hints of what to do. So this is kind of one of those areas that I really enjoy, because we've had several areas where you're kind of blocked off from backtracking. This area right here allows you to jump off and backtrack more than any other area. I don't know if the developers included that for a reason, or what, but it's very helpful. Alright, and now here's the little pig. Remember he liked our fruit earlier? Yeah, buddy, come here. Come here. I'm gonna throw that. Please go get that food. Yeah, and now I'm through. Let's see. So, another thing that I like that the game does is that things that you can interact with are shiny. They're very different from the rest of the world around you. So when you come in here and you start looking around as to what to do, you know, oh hey, there's this ledge I can get to, I see some gold, that's probably something important. But then you turn around and you see something glowing, and it gives you another context clue, and you just pick it up. And pop that right there. And then it's got this really lovely sort of walk up to it. But now, the issue is that we see this one over here. So, how do we get it? Well, maybe we can go grab another, but that's closed. So, it really is my first time playing through this game. This Let's Play is probably not going to be too terribly long. But it is something that took me probably upwards of almost 10 or 15 hours to complete. Just because of how everything is organized. Oh no. So I don't usually have problems with this. I do apologize, guys. Let's see. There we go. So now let's go grab up. Let's go up and grab that. And there we go. Made it through. So, one thing oh, there's our dog friend again. Hi, Wolfie. Hi, Foxy. I really should come up with a name for you. I really should. So one thing that I love about games like this, where you see things kind of like, you know, time weathered and worn. It doesn't matter what game it is. I always wonder, what would you be like if, you know, you weren't destroyed? So let me go up here and grab you. And I'm gonna toss you across That's totally okay. It's at least there. Grab you. Put you there. Nope, I'm not gonna put you there. That's not much fun I wanted. So, some of these puzzles, they are fun and they're intriguing, but they can kind of seem like they're just trying to waste your time. This one is probably the one that feels most like that, just because you do have 3 things here, and only 2 orbs. I think the only thing that kind of saves it is, again, an environmental factor, where, you know, it is kind of meant to be set up so where, you know, all 3 of these pedestals could have been lit if, again, time hadn't worn away, you know, that fish statue there. So, definitely choices are made in this game, and I think they did a great job making the game. So now, put that there, and that opens that up. And as we've seen earlier, there's another pedestal, so we're gonna have fun looking at something. Now remember how I told you guys this symbol looks super familiar? And then we have this in front of us. Guess what's about to happen? There we go. And now you can see in the background that big golden gate is gone. So for me, those kind of details, these whole perspective puzzles and things like that, they're things that I love in games like this. I love platformers that have elements like that, where you have perspective that you have to take into consideration. I love games that have elements where you have to take in, you know, shadow and light. So this game just kind of ticks a lot of boxes for me. And now that we have the other key, we see, again, the red cloaked man over there. One fun thing to note is this time our little fox guy is with them too. A little fox friend. So that's a little interesting thing to note here. So it doesn't mean he's necessarily bad, but it is strange to see our little fox with him. Let me make sure I didn't miss something over here. So now that we have the other key, we're gonna put you in here. See, games like this always make me think about, you know, what are my favorite things as a gamer? You know, oh, and the red guy's gone again. And so's our fox. Think about what I like as a gamer, and, like, you know, what gaming is supposed to be. Is it supposed to be, you know, just action-packed adventure? What is it supposed to be? Oh, hey. So here we see, let's back up a little bit. Here we see a crying king. And then this sad boy. Let's back away a little from it, because I think if we back away enough, we can see the normal color that it's supposed to have. Or not. It doesn't have it. So, one thing I'm going to show you guys, before we go too far, is there are these things called keyholes in the game. And you get to see different pictures. And so, by this point, you will have seen this picture, and then you'll have seen this next one. I've already gotten a bunch of the keyholes, so unfortunately I can't just kind of go and show you them as I discover them. But now we see, you know, the king is sad, the queen is sad, but the little boy, he's playing with his toys, he's having fun. So he's not really much the wiser to what is going on. We even see him painted with a little grin. So that's kind of, again, all of the, you know, the extras, collectibles, the little keyholes that we get, they all have a really important part to this story. this aesthetic is something I'm such a sucker for. I love these like pan out shots of like approaching a destination, and I don't know why it's always just struck a chord with me. And again, we hear that beautiful orchestral music. But for me, games, I don't know, sometimes they're always different. I enjoy this kind of game because it's something that's easy enough for almost anyone to play. It looks beautiful. There's things scattered along the way that make sure that it's not completely boring and not too monotonous. And if you really try to investigate your world around you, you are rewarded by achievements, by collectibles, and none of the achievements or collectibles get in the way of the story. They actually all add to it. If you ever go read the achievements list for this game, it's really all about kind of furthering the story, which to me I think is a really, really good way to develop your game. Just having an achievement for doing this one specific thing can be kind of cool, like Overwatch has that, but Overwatch is also not such a story-driven game. And so my absolute favorite shot in this whole game is this. We are so high up, we can see the entirety, well, almost the entirety of the island area that we've just been through, and it looks so small now. I just find that so stunning and fascinating to me, that you can kind of have these like giant looks, these giant vistas, and just it's stunning to me. So a fun thing to note is time had been moving, you know, whilst we were moving around. Now it's not moving so much. One thing we'll note is that this ball right here is interactable. We see a statue of what appears to be a man, and you have all of these symbols here. So what do? We interact with the only thing we can, which is the ball. Or if it will let me do the command. There we go. So now it cuts out. And I think this is my favorite thing in the whole game. Just because I like manipulation mechanics. I like where players can manipulate their world around them heavily. And this, to me, is just amazing. So, I've just made it absolute bright, high noon daytime. And now you can see what's cool about that is that the filters that they use in this game, they even make sure that, you know, this island now looks even more washed out. So to me, that's really good polish. That's really good work. So we're gonna keep moving this until we see something happen. Oh. And then we see here, oh, hey, the moonlight. So one of the cool things that I like about this game is that I think it's made to be kind of like midday when you get up here, so you have to maneuver that just the right way. And when you do that, you get to see this beautiful night sky. So that's the kind of like planning and like care that I really love to have in games. When you just see these tiny little things done that just really make the game. So now we actually see the ball's moving, the shadow's moving. So if I don't hurry up and do this, yup, it's no longer the right time. So now that we've manipulated the ball, and we've literally got the ball rolling, it's gonna change time. This ball right here controls all of time around here. And I can go through day after day after day after day just by moving it around. It kind of reminds me of that myth in Greek mythology where there was someone who had to continually roll the ball uphill. Oh, here's another great little cutscene. This is just so stunning. I love it. So you really start to see that, you know, this world has things to be manipulated in it. And what's kind of nice is that you would think like, oh no, like this is gonna move out of the way and I won't be able to go across the bridge, but no. If I want to, I can again make it this beautiful high noon and still cross. Now, one of the things that intrigues me in this game is how we have this beautiful island over here, and it looks like there was this old culture and everything that lived in it, but to get to this tower that we've been shown this entire time, we're going across to a completely man-made structure. There's no, you know, land really down there, which to me is really fascinating. And again, you can kind of see the red man all the way over there. Oh, and our little fox friend. Something nifty is one of the extra outfits is down this way, so you'll just have to go down here. There is a pair of steps over this way, going all the way down. I have already gotten it, so I'm not going to do that again to you guys. So, another thing that appears often in all the stages in this game is this statue. So if you guys do keep along with me, keep an eye on these statues. I'm not 100% sure exactly what they're supposed to represent, but I have a bit of a feeling. That's the thing I like in games like this, again, is the constant recurrence of themes and items and stuff that just kind of makes you ponder about the world that you're in. You know, there are games like this that I enjoy, where you really are left to try and figure out what's your world. And then there's games like, you know, Skyrim, which you literally could go and grab book after book after book, and eventually you'll learn all about the world. So one thing that has mystified me is how to get this collectible up here. I have no idea how to do it. I have been trying and trying and trying. I turn my brightness up, I do everything I can to try and figure out how to do it. Still have yet to figure out how to do it. So one of these days I will do a playthrough and I will get that collectible up there. There is an achievement for getting all of the collectibles for each type. There are these conch shells which do the lullaby, which I will probably make my outro tonight. And then there are different just items scattered about the world. Oops, got turned around. So this again, oh, we saw a little bit of a frame rate buff there, sorry guys. So this again is kind of a thing that I really enjoy. So we kind of see these pots, and what do we do with things we think are strange? We yell around them, and apparently they break. So it kind of led me to this tiny little pathway, but there's nothing in here. And we see a gust of like wind leaving here. Whoop. And so clearly, you know, those are important, but we're not sure how and you keep seeing that same kind of glowing texture from earlier. Keeps popping up. Um, these are the kind of little things that I love in a game. It's that extra little step that they go. I don't think there's anything in this one. No. But where does this path lead again? So one fun thing to do while you're playing through is to try and light up every single flame that you can. It does make areas a little brighter, and it can actually reveal some things to you, which is kind of cool. So we see this wind kind of flowing, so we'll follow that, and now you really see it flowing into this. I love when things break in games. I don't know why, it's just a really beautiful thing to see how something's gonna break. You know, because in video games you never get to break anything. You just kind of are stuck with okay, this is how it looks. Unless it's a game that's designed to have everything break. So we're moving deeper and deeper into that tower on the outside, and we've actually gone a little bit down at this point. So again, we see this red man, and just look at how beautiful this is. I mean, we have this starry kind of background and all of this. So I really like this area because it starts to light up as you walk around it. There are areas you can kind of jump and run. So again, the context clues give you everything. So he's not scared in here. And then you've also got this crescendo music. I think one reason I might like music so much in games is one of my first games that I ever played outside of Nintendo was a game called Mad Maestro. It was for the PS2, and it had a really awesome music mechanic where you were to conduct a symphony in order to save the town symphony hall. But in order to get your symphony together, you were missing a few musicians, so you had to go around town and hopefully collect some of the other townsfolk who knew how to play instruments. You had to control not only rhythm, but somehow they were able to do pressure sensing with the PS2 controller, which allowed you to either press soft, hard, or normal, which gave you, forte, pianissimo, and then normal, which I thought was just such a clever design. So ever since then, I've really been obsessed with music, especially in games, just because music really does add a level into a game that you'll never be able to quite attain with a graphic or with a character. It is kind of sad though, to think about the gamers out there who unfortunately can't hear or, can't see. Because there are games like this that rely so heavily... There are games like this that rely so heavily on, hearing or seeing that, they're almost near unplayable if you are unable to see or hear, which somewhat breaks my heart. I really hope that the future of games is more accessible to people. That's not to say I think we need to stop making games with sounds and lights and stuff like that. That's not what I'm saying at all. But where am I going? I just hopped across. I have no idea where I'm going. What? I am lost. I'm gonna jump, I guess? Nope, there was nothing to catch me there. Oh, apparently there is something there. Oh, I'm just not going far enough. I hope that the future of video games becomes more accessible because... Oh, I keep falling off the ledge. Sorry, guys. I hope the future of video games becomes more accessible because it really is a market that could be accessed by anybody. Everybody wants to play a game. What's going on up here? Am I continuing to go farther? I don't honestly know. Huh. I guess there was something here. I just don't know what it used to be. It might have been another collectible or something, but it appears dark now. Oh, gosh darn it. So, we're gonna try and get to the end of this level. I'm gonna play my outro for you guys, being the lullaby in this game, and then we will call it a day. So they should be pretty close, and as you can see, most of this place is now lit up very well. I can never remember where the step to get over is. And I am purposely, you guys might have seen my brightness settings. I am purposely not turning my brightness just to kind of give it a more realistic feel as to what it would actually normally be. I want to kind of try and play this with you guys as, you know, authentically as possible. And I feel that because this game does have dark parts, because this game does have areas that are meant to be in darkness and shadow, that it'll be like kind of a disservice to you guys if I tried to like game the system by making everything like really bright. Oh, I think I see the path over here. Here we go. I think this is... Yeah, this is the way. So earlier we saw, again, the red man, and he's completely gone again. He's nowhere to be found around here. But... Yeah. So now we've lit the whole place up, and we're gonna go in. So, I'm usually never a fan of things that block off sections where you can't go back. I absolutely hate games that you can't go back from the very beginning. But this game, it does it in such a charming and, you know, realistic way. It's not just giving you a cutscene to stop you from going somewhere. It's giving you, like, an actual area of, like, why you can't go back there. Because it's crumbled. It's not just, you know, oh, an invisible wall is here now. Oh, a huge cutscene happened. You knew that when you went down, you were not going to make it back. So that's kind of something that I really enjoy about this game. And here we are. So, this is something that happens at the end of every level. You have this beautiful spiral that you go up. I'll have you guys take a look at the spiral and look a little closer at it. But look how tall this tower is. There's 1, it's 2, and it just keeps going up. 3, you know, and up at the top, we have 4. And there's the red man again, looking down at us from the very top level. Always kind of watching. So one interesting thing is this pool down here. It's just, we came from outside and now we're in the tower. You can kind of see it. We're definitely in that big tower, but why would there be a giant whirlpool in the middle? And no matter what you do, there is an invisible wall here. You can't make it past this wall. It's one of the few places that truly does have invisible walls in it. Now here we go. Here's our little fox friend. I like lighting the fires again. There's our little foxy burrow. Just kind of like showing him like running up, leading us to the next level. And here we are. Now we're up top. So one thing to kind of note is the flames down below, well, the ones I activated, kind of this like dark blue. But as we've gotten up here, they're this like a deep red, deep orange. This game uses a lot of color. If I had the ability to show you, I would show you my controller, which they even went so far as to change the controller, the light on it, every time you go to a different stage, changes color. So, here's big whooshing, just running towards it. And you can just see that wind just howling outside of this place. And these trickles of sand, not water, but of sand. I have to say this is a very creative use of a sand texture though, because they just recycled the water texture, and it's getting loud. Oh no, we've lost our cape. So I do plan on cosplaying this character. I'm super excited about that. I have one of my best friends helping me out with this. Oh, come back here, Cape. Don't run from me. You're my Cape. Come back. And so it's kind of weird that we've seen a couple posts. We've seen a whole boat now. I'm just in this like sandy, beachy dune. Now I've got to grab my cape. And of course it goes away as soon as I try to reach for it. And now we have this huge storm coming at us. And we finished the first level, guys. Anytime you see this sort of load screen, it means we're transitioning from one level to the next. So that is a cool way for them to break up the levels. It also does kind of look like the entrance from one area to the next in the tower itself, and it almost kind of looks like the tower. So I think that's kind of cool. It is lining up like, hey, leading the way to our next level. But again, it can be kind of aggravating how long it does take to load. Which, you know, can be. I did have it take almost 5 minutes one time. So now we're in the next level. all these shadowy figures around. Which these guys super give me the heebie-jeebies. They still do today. I don't know. They give me the heebie-jeebies. So here's a little pile. Something that's interesting though is if you smack these white guys here, they go into these kind of little smoke clouds, ethereal somethings or other. I don't think there's an achievement for breaking all of them, but I'm not gonna give it a whirl. And then here we have our dog again. And I'm gonna just move a little bit further into the level. Oh, these guys give me the heebie-jeebies. They're so creepy. They're just these blobs with like a circle of light around them. They're just looking at you. Oh. It's a little creepy. So now we're going to here just to show you. Again, there's that statue of what looks like a man. So the first one kind of looked a little more normal. This one, like, it seems that the fists are closed and clenched. There's a lot less detail. It almost looks like his mouth was open at one point, but the detail's gone. Let me go over to our little fox guy, quiet him up a little bit. So we're gonna leave it here. I'm gonna let you guys hear part of the lullaby, just so you guys have an idea of what that is. Because I did already collect all the pieces for it, so you guys won't be able to hear it. And again, one thing I want to mention is that this game has gone really deep into try and like make it feel like you're involved. My controller right now on the PS4, you have a light on the front. It was white in that first world. Now it's got this nice orangey reddish hue to it. So they really did try and make the most of everything. We're gonna go all the way to our lullaby. So this game is made by Tequila Works. I'm not sure if it's a company based in Spain or if it's based in Mexico. I do know that the game does have a very Spanish / like Mexican feel to it. So I want to delve more deep into that. But this game theme is this song is all over the game. So I'm gonna just let you guys listen to it while we close out. Viento a viento va bailando el mar. Esta sola voz se quebró. Pájaros de sal, ciegos de llorar, vuelven a volar. And we're gonna cut it there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!